Hi, Amanda. It's so nice to have you on the show. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Beautiful. And thank you too for being here. And you see, I say this all the time because I feel like it is important. And secondly, I came across a scientific study that also proves how important it is for me to say it. And it has even become an anthem. What is the thing? I often thank my guests for two things, all right? So, firstly, Amanda, I want to thank you for investing in yourself. And you see, I truly mean this, okay? You are on this platform right now because you invested in yourself. And oftentimes, I love to make reference to the amazing mango tree. You see, Amanda, I was on this particular road some months back, and just by the roadside, there's this tall, unattractive mango tree. And I use the word unattractive because the mango tree's got no mangoes on it, and it looks so dry, and I just walked past it. But you see, just recently, something changed. I was on that same road, okay, and the mango tree caught my attention pretty good from a distance. And instantly, I got the urge to, move closer and have a good look. Then, when I got closer, man, Amanda, it wowed me. Because this time around, the mango tree is looking all beautiful and attractive. It's got a lot of mangoes on it, beautiful leaves and healthy branches. And not just mangoes, okay, but ripe mangoes. So it caught my attention pretty good and I was wowed, excited at the same time. The point is, the fact that you dedicated your time, energy, and resources to becoming the amazing person that you are today, that alone has made it really impossible for me to skip you. And that's why you see you got the request from me to be on the show. So thank you for investing in yourself. And secondly, thank you for saying yes to the invite. Because if you had said nope, there was nothing I could do about it. So thank you so very much. I truly appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, let's get started. You see, Amanda, I am quite excited to have you on the show today for some reasons. Alright. Firstly, my interest in knowledge seeking. Because I believe in order for one to move from a terrible situation to a beautiful one, Amanda, I believe it takes the application of knowledge. You see, not just knowledge, but the application of it. And ever since I discovered that light in the Hebrew means knowledge and darkness means ignorance, I've been so keen to knowledge seeking because I do not want to remain in the dark. So that's going to make our conversation today very important to me and even to the listeners. The second reason why I'm excited to have the amazing Amanda on the show is for the sake of the listeners. You see, Amanda, we're living in an age where information is as abundant as grains of sand. We've got a lot of informations flying out there. How to do this and how to do that, how to become this and how to become that. So those folks trust me for quality information. And I am totally convinced, Amanda, that our conversation is going to be insightful and also impactful. So for that reason, Amanda, let's get started with your introduction. Talk to us about your personal or professional journey. We're just so curious right now. We want to know how you got here. Then afterwards, I've gotten some beautiful questions for you. Okay, Amanda, over to you.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. I'm Amanda. A lot of people call me Manders. I refer to myself as the breathing goddess. I'm a breathwork facilitator, Reiki practitioner, and I host a podcast as well and just believe really in the power of shifting your mindset, shifting the way we look at things can really change how we show up, can change how we approach other people, how we approach our life. I've gone through a lot of internal shifts within my life, lost and maintained a 70-pound weight loss, which wasn't easy. It took a lot of internal shifts, even outside of the physical shifts. I got involved in the healing modalities with breathwork, Reiki, sound healing, and all of that. And just understanding the power of our breath because it's life force energy. And without it, we're not living. And just trying to help people shift the way they look at things, even small things like because we all deal with friction in our life, and it's how you look at it, how you approach it will affect how it affects you.
Beautiful. And that's a very important one. You see, Amanda, the day I realized that our minds are just like the steering of our lives, oh boy, I began to change a lot of things in my mind. You see, the mind also shapes how we view things and how we react to things. When I understood this truth, I became very careful. You know, I became very, very careful. So what you're doing is actually very great, helping folks shift their minds even to the little things that occurs to us day by day. And that's a beautiful one. And I love that. So we're gonna pick the first question from asking a personal question, all right? So how did breath work help you transform your grief to gratitude? You got that?
Yeah, it helped me transform my grief to gratitude, because the first time I ever experienced breathwork was actually the anniversary of my grandma's passing. And I only even went to this breathwork class because I just didn't want to sit home. And I went to this breathwork class not even knowing what I was going to experience, what to expect. And I went into it in kind of a melancholy state. It was the anniversary of my grandma's passing. I was just thinking about all these negative experiences. She didn't see me graduate high school. She missed out on this. And it was all of these factors that I had no control over. Like, I can't bring my grandma back from the dead. I can't go back to high school and graduate and have her be there. Things I physically couldn't control. And it was stuff that had bothered me, honestly, for years since she had passed. Then I did this breathwork session. And after the breathwork session, I looked at everything that was a negative aspect and I was able to reframe it. For example, like, she didn't see me graduate high school. Then after the breathwork session, I was like, but she saw you graduate 8th grade. You've got graduation pictures with her. And my mindset shifted to look at all of the grief and approach it from a different angle and be like, wow, I'm grateful for this. This I don't have, but I'm grateful for this aspect of it. And it was literally reframing the negative thoughts that I had into more positive ones. And it was so mind blowing to me, even more so because it was negative thoughts that I couldn't change. Like, I can't bring her back from the dead. Like, it's things that are impossible. So it was mind blowing to me.
Amazing. I got that. I got that. And that's a very interesting one. Okay, can you walk us through the concept of a time audit and how it can help someone reclaim their day? You got it? My network.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I think it's my network. Okay, so I was asking, I said, can you walk us through the concept of a time audit and how it can help someone reclaim their day? You got it?
Yeah. Yeah. So a time audit is basically something I was introduced to audit your day. And now it's not something you will do every single day, but to basically figure out where our time is going, because time is the only thing we don't get back in life. You could have all the money in the world, you can't buy time. And that's something I always say. So I work with my clients to understand where their time is actually going. And one of the first things we do is something called a time audit. And you are auditing your time from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep. And it's every 15 minutes to really see where your time is going. Because so many of us get to the end of the day and we're like, we got nothing done. Or we don't know where the day went. And it's all these little increments. We spent this much time at doing this random thing when it could have taken less time. And we're just wasting so much time. But time is one of the most valuable resources to me because, again, we can't get it back. You can get yourself healthier or try to live longer, but you can't buy time. Doesn't matter if you're the richest man alive or whatever. Focusing on auditing and figuring out where the day is going, to then figure out what you want to do from there, like, and how you can adjust your schedule.
Beautiful, I got that. And that's right. We cannot control time. We cannot buy time. Oh boy, you see, I love what you're doing and your insights are really incredible. That's a great one, Amanda. Okay, You mentioned, losing weight and all. So, how did you shift your mindset to achieve lasting weight loss and maintain it over time?
I had to shift the way I approached it. When I first started losing weight, I approached it where I was only going to do one thing. I wasn't going to start with, I'm going to weigh all this food, I'm going to meal prep, I'm going to eat healthier, I'm going to move, because we have all these things that we want to do and it's too much. So I started with only movement. I added in the gym. I didn't change my diet at all for over 3 months. And I still lost a good amount of weight. And then adding on stuff from there. I lost 30 pounds before I changed my diet one bit. I added in more good things. I drank more water. I added in more vegetables, more fruit, but I wasn't very specific with that. I simply was focusing on the movement. And then I added more from there. We want to start with all these things, and I'm going to do these 5 things every day, and it lasts for a week. Then we fall off, and we wonder why it's not maintained, because we're setting ourselves up for failure. If we start with that one thing, we accomplish it, we make it a habit, we form that routine, then you add on from there, because you've already established this routine of doing this thing. And also approaching it not with that all or nothing mindset. For example, like knowing if you don't have time to do a full workout today, that doesn't mean that you can't work out at all. Not having that all or nothing mindset, and having I'm still going to do these certain things. And there's certain things that are like non-negotiables. There's certain things you do every day, and just knowing it might look different every day and being okay with that. Things happen, whether it's a personal circumstance, whether it's whatever, but still understanding this is how you're showing up. But again, not having that all or nothing. Like if something happens and you don't get the workout in on Monday, that doesn't mean you're just not going to work out the whole rest of the week. Understanding like, okay, life happens, but I'm going to shift my mindset to approach this not from the all or nothing, but this is now my identity that I'm embodying.
Oh my God. Just like I mentioned earlier, once you can get a hold of your mind, get a hold of how you think, you've gotten a hold of your whole life. That's a beautiful. Okay, we have one more question to go. What advice would you give to someone who feels stuck in their circumstance and they are so unsure of where to start from? What is that one piece of advice you would give?
Start with whatever you can be successful doing, even if it's not fitness, whatever it is you're trying to do, trying to achieve. Maybe it's a professional goal. Maybe it's you even just want to learn more. Maybe that's reading, but starting with whatever you can successfully do. Like I mentioned earlier, I started with movement as opposed to food or nutrition. I don't consider myself the best cook. I'm like, this is not something I'm going to be able to successfully do right off the bat. So starting with something that you can say, I can consistently, successfully do this, whatever that thing is for you, because knowing and consistently doing it, it gives you that dopamine hit, even like making your bed in the morning. Even if you have the worst day, you come back at the end of the day to a made bed, and while it might seem like absolutely nothing, you accomplished something. So like, what is that one thing you can do regularly? No matter how the day goes, this one thing happens. And, it gives you that sort of success, that sort of like dopamine feeling to keep you going. Because life gets hard. Life will throw stuff at all of us. But having that one thing to have that little bit of accomplishment, per se, in your head and in your mindset to know, okay, regardless of what happened throughout the day, what I dealt with, I did this one thing.
That's a great, and I got that, and I'm going to take that as a final. Okay, for folks who would like to reach out to you, Amanda, or ask questions, or even learn more about everything we've been talking about, how can that be possible?
Yeah, absolutely. So they can connect with me. Instagram's a great place. I'm on Instagram at the Breathing Goddess. You can find me on Facebook. Facebook is Amanda Russo. You can listen to the podcast, Amanda's Mindset, wherever you listen to your podcast. It's also on YouTube as well.
Okay, beautiful. Tell us a bit about your podcast. Since how long have you
So I host Mando's Mindset, and I interview a wide range of guests who have gone through different internal shifts in their life and achieved some external shift. Maybe they left a relationship, maybe they got involved with fitness, took back control of their career, anything like that. They had some internal shift. There's basically some aha moment in their life where they shifted and they realized something different. But I love it. It's really helped me just learn more and speak to a wide range of people.
Beautiful, beautiful. Because what you're doing is very important. As long as we can get a hold of our mind, we've gotten a hold of our life. I got that. So that's going to be the end of the show, Amanda. Thank you for coming and thank you for sharing these
Thank
amazing
you for
words with us.
having me.
It means a whole lot.
Thank you for having me.